Okay, okay. I'm live on YouTube. Okay. Uh, all right. Cool, 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 cool. I'm live on YouTube, guys. Let me. Oh, you created a stage. Oh, perfect. Flip. Yeah, let's just do that then. All right, cool. So, what? I just maybe later ask. Yeah, like you're in a shot. Yeah. So everyone, join the stage. All right, there we go. Everyone, join here. All right, there we go. There we go. Cool. Everyone's joining the stage. That's fine. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Everyone should join there. Okay, cool. Finally. finally. Cool. All right, calm. So all the people there, basically, they're joining. All right, thank you so much for that. Wait, I can't share my screen. Great. I can't share my screen. Oh my gosh. All right, no worries, guys. No worries. I'm gonna just do YouTube live. Oh my gosh. Get shareable link. Okay. Everyone join here. All right, I'm gonna send the YouTube link, guys. Join there. Okay. You guys, can you guys see my screen? Can you guys see my screen? Okay. All right, you guys should be able to see my screen over here, yeah? Let me exit the Discord call. All right. Stop sharing. Oops. Entire screen. Okay. Now you guys should be able to see my screen, right? On YouTube. Should be able to. Can you go? All right, calm. All right, fine. Finally, we got it. We got it set up. Okay. So. All right, this is good. This is good. There is an echo in my voice. Even the mic's better here. Audio and screen sharing is all good. Apparently, there's an echo in my voice. Oops. Hold up. Maybe it's because my headset is connected. Where the oh, I'm wearing my headset. Oh, there's no echo. All right, cool. Join. All right, calm. Right, let's get this started then. I'm live on YouTube for the first time. All right, this camera thing is here. Let me. You guys can see that there is this no signal thing, right? Can you guys see this no signal thing on my YouTube? Like for my camera, is there something you guys can see? Yes. Okay, so you guys can see that. Okay, yeah, you guys can see the Elgato thing. All right, don't have access to this feature. Okay. At the bottom right, is there a screen with no signal? Okay, yeah, you guys can see that no signal thing. Okay, you know what? Let me quickly wear. All right, I'm gonna turn on the face cam, right? It's bugging me. Okay, let's see. All right, let me turn on my camera and then let's see if you guys can see this. All right, there we go. Cool. Perfect. You guys should be able to see my camera, right? Can you guys see my camera? Anyone who can use? All right, cool. All right, perfect. So you guys can see my camera. Let me just turn on my lights. There we go. Okay, fine, cool. Let me close this. All right, guys. Perfect. It's HD, and you guys can see my screen. Calm. Right, let's get started. There's lots of people here. All right, cool. So this is what am I talking about? This I'm so crazy. Cool. So this is German 40 I'm looking at. This was a trade that I took on Friday, and this passed one of my accounts. So I was trading my funding pips 300k account, and I passed phase one, and I passed some other accounts as well with this setup right here. Let me just break down this setup for everyone here. So we had this Asian range consolidating, and then right before Asian range closed, we had this big wick down sweeping these lows, and then we pushed up, and then the moment Asian session closed at 7 a.m. Frankfurt session, we instantly pushed up and broke this high, which created a market structure shift. Once we got that market structure shift, what happened was we created this 1 minute fair value gap over here, right? So we broke structure to the upside. Right after Asian session, we had swept these lows. As you can see, we suddenly swept it and then started pushing up. Pushed up, market structure shift to the upside. We had a 1 minute fair value gap here in the discounted area. Price came down, took my buy, stop loss below this wick low, and then we targeted this 1 minute fair value gap over here to the left, and that's where the exit was. Now the thing was, this happened quite quickly. I realized that this was in a 1 minute fair value gap, like very late, like over here. So I quickly took this entry, but then I wasn't able to send it in the premium group. So then in the premium group, once we had London open over here at 8 a.m., we can see what happened was, let's get rid of this. We had another push up, and that broke structure to the upside. Now, after price broke that structure to the upside, we had another 1 minute fair value gap right here. And that's the entry that I showed on my premium channel. So look, right here, you can see on my mentors charts. This is it. Look, where is it? Yeah, here we go. Quick German 40 buys potential. And that was this 1 minute fair value gap right here. And that was literally this one right here. Look, right there. It was right here. This is what I was sending. Because what happened was we had a market structure shift to the upside, tapped over here, pushed down, tapped it, pushed up, broke structure again to the upside. This was at London open over here, 8 a.m., pushed up again. And then we had another 1 minute fair value gap. And this is where I sent it to the channel. And that's where we took our buys, and price finally continued up to that 1 minute fair value gap target that was up here. So this was the trade taken on German 40 on Friday. Can you keep this video on YouTube channel after stream so we can come back to it? I think it does that automatically. If not, I'll try to make sure that it gets uploaded. I'm new to YouTube, so I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Why are we seeing your face? Lol. Because it was just like a no signal thing at the bottom. I didn't know how to get rid of it, so I kind of had to. Why did you target the Asian high? Why did you target the 1 minute fair value gap instead of the Asian high? Okay, this is a key one, yeah? Why didn't I target this Asian high up here and only target this 1 minute fair value gap over here? The reason for that is because Asian range was pushing down quite viciously. So if overall the structure is bearish, why would the daily candle break structure to the downside, push very impulsively down, retrace up, and then flip all the way up to go up to this one to sweep the Asian high? Unless there was something to the left, which it was rejecting and grabbing liquidity from the downside. But the thing was, when we pushed down over here in the Asian session, we didn't sweep this low over here. And there was not really any valid fair value gap over here. So we had this big wick low. That is liquidity down there. So I'm targeting this low to be swept. So if we haven't swept liquidity below, I'm not going to be looking to buy up, okay? So this move here that was pushing down in Asian session, we were just retracing up to potentially continue down further. So I just wanted to quickly take the buy up to this sell area where I would want to sell from. So that's why when Asian session pushes down all the way and is very impulsive moving down, you're not going to expect the daily candle to push up past the Asian high as well and then push back down. My overall bias was bearish to sell German 40. So it just doesn't make sense for the daily candle to go bearish, flip bullish, then come back to bearish. Because it had pushed down so much, I was just expecting a retracement to then continue further down. But if Asian range had been consolidating, then I could potentially expect the sweep of the high and the low, or the low and the high. But because we had expanded throughout the Asian range, I just expected a retracement in London and then a continuation down further in late London session / New York session. So that's why I didn't wait. So that's why I didn't target the Asian highs. I just wanted to get out at the 1 minute fair value gap. Hope that answers your question. Can you give us some discount to your Discord or a trial? Well, the trial was the wait list. If you had seen my Instagram stories, there was a wait list that you could have joined, and then you would have got access to the mentors charts. So a lot of the premium waitlist members also saw all of these trades that I've been sending. Do you use top-down approach to your trend? Yes. So pretty much I will start on the daily time frame. So overall, we had this wick low that I was targeting as a target for selling. And what happened was the daily candle just opened and straight away pushed down in Asian session. That was because of the war or something. So then I just dropped to the 1 hour time frame because I saw that we were clearly bearish. Higher time frame structure target was over here at this 1 hour low or daily low, whatever. It was a big wick low. That's what I was targeting. So overall, I was bearish. So then I dropped to the 1 hour time frame. Cool. We can see we are bearish. And then I was just basically dropping time frames where I could be targeting to potentially take the sells. I didn't take the sells, but I was taking the buy up to the sells. Now, oh, this is a flipping good one. No, it's not. Is it? I don't know. Okay. Yeah, so basically I do a top-down approach. So basically I was looking at this area right here, just literally dropping different time frames until I just saw a market structure shift. But overall, in terms of my bearish bias, I started on the daily time frame. I saw we had a big wick low over here, so that's what I was targeting. And then I started dropping time frames for my sell entry. So I was just looking within this big fair value gap over here. So we had a 1 hour fair value gap from here to there. So I have this zone, and I just start refining it. I looked at the 15, then I looked at the 5. Then I'm like, oh, we had a 5 minute order block. I dropped to the 3. We can see we had another 3 minute order block. But then when I dropped to the 1, on the 1 minute, I could see a clear fair value gap right here. So there we go. That was my zone within the big 1 hour fair value gap that you can see right here. So that was the top-down approach right there for the potential sells. I didn't take the sells, but that's how I would have gone about it. Is time important? Yes, time is very important when trading because, again, this trade right here, it was crucial to understand that we grab liquidity from down here, and then the push happened exactly at Frankfurt Open. So pre-London, just at the close of Asian session, we quickly grab liquidity and we start pushing up, shifting structure to the upside. So it's like, wow, okay, Frankfurt session just started and suddenly we've got this big 1 minute candle that wick down, grab liquidity to this 1 minute fair value gap down here. You can see, look, 7 a.m. price push straight down into this 1 minute fair value gap, push straight up, breaking the structure to the upside, shifting structure to being bullish on the 1 minute time frame. And this happened at 7 a.m. at the close of Asian. So it's very crucial to understand when did that happen. Clearly, at that time, there are big boys getting into the market that are grabbing liquidity to push price up. And then we can see throughout that session, throughout 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., pre-London session, we can see price had come down to this 1 minute fair value gap, started rejecting it. And then at London open, you can see again, price pushed up very impulsively, breaking structure to the upside. So that again tells you that, oh, okay, London session traders are coming in and we're pushing market structure to the upside. We get a little retracement, then we just continue moving up. Now, the target was this 1 minute fair value gap. But again, the thing that was crucial is at 7 o'clock, we had an impulsive move up. And at 8 o'clock, we had another impulsive move up. So it's like at the open of these sessions, what's happening? We're getting a wick down on 7 o'clock, pushing up. London open, we push up straight away. It's like we are breaking structure to the upside on these market open, on these session opens. So again, timing is very crucial with this. When it comes to trading, you need to look at exactly at what session did that happen on. Was it at a market open? So on German 40, it's an European indices. So at 8 a.m. is London open. We see a lot of volatility and a lot of volume in the market. So you need to see at London open, what happens? How does it move? Same for 7 o'clock as well. That's Frankfurt session. What happens? Because that's, again, it's a German stock. Again, German is Frankfurt, German. So Frankfurt session is German 40 basically coming in. So you can see at these timings what's actually happening, and then you kind of go off that. Right. Don't have Instagram. If you don't have Instagram and you're trying to trade and get information, then I suggest you create an Instagram. Zamko, you need some mods for your Discord. I have like 3. How do we join the waitlist if we don't have Insta? You need to have Insta. It's as simple as that. Just create an Instagram account. It's not that long. Email and password and phone number or whatever. And in my bio, you'll see the waitlist link. Wait, when you say 1 minute fair value gap, do you mean on the 1 minute time frame, like scrap trading? Well, I assume you mean scalp. No, I don't. I'm not scalping, right? This was a quick trade. This was technically a scalp. I wasn't intending it for it to be a scalp, but overall, I would have taken the sell up here to kind of hold throughout the day, but we just didn't get it just didn't move right for me. So yes, I do enter on the 1 minute time frame, but I'm basing that trade off the higher time frame. So it's not really scalping. Which session do you trade? Mainly London session. That's kind of my favorite one. After the first market structure shift, did you consider that it could just continue down since I don't see any key level on the far left? So my question is, how did you buy right there without bigger high time frame key level? Well, because if we're planning to sell, you have to, okay, this is another thing. If price wants to sell off, most likely it will retrace up into a premium area above 50% retracement to then sell. So if we haven't had that retracement, I'm not going to expect price to just keep on going down, right? If we are getting confirmations that potentially market is shifting upwards. So because market structure is shifting upwards, I'm expecting some sort of a retracement to happen. Because if we look on the 1 hour time frame, we were pushing quite impulsively down, where it's inevitable to get some sort of retracement up to then continue down. So on the higher time frame, I'm expecting this retracement. And when you drop to the lower time frames, you can see when that retracement is potentially going to happen. And that's when market structure starts shifting to the upside after sweeping lows and grabbing liquidity. So that's why, so that's why kind of that's how I based my trade-off. On the higher time frame, yeah, we had this 1 minute fair value gap here, but then again, if you want to refine it, increase it to like the higher time frame, look, we have this 1 hour fair value gap. So minimum, we were going to push up into that 1 hour fair value gap. So that's why it's all aligning together, right? Big 1 hour fair value gap. I'm expecting a retracement up into it to then potentially continue down. So I'm just trying to capitalize on that retracement. Right. Any more? There's lots of questions. Flip. Do you believe your wait list will end soon? Well, yes, because there's a wait list to wait for something, so it will end soon. Thank you for the clarification. Also, were you not concerned that London Open might sweep the stop loss and push forward? What does push forward mean exactly? I always thought the entry, which is market structure shift before London SB, is a trap for early. No. Because that's a good one. When London Open pushed upright, is it a trap for grabbing liquidity to sell? Potentially it could be, but you have to look to the left. Where is it grabbing that liquidity from, right? So if we look to the left, right, we had this first high over here. There's no clear fair value gaps over here, right? When London session pushed up, you can see how high it went. It came very close to this high over here, but there's no fair value gaps here. Previous highs and lows act as liquidity. So when London session pushed up that close to this high, I'm expecting this high to be swept because look, we retraced down and continued up to then sweep this high. So grabbing liquidity, when that push happened over here, it hasn't grabbed any liquidity because again, it hasn't swept any highs. If any sellers were over here, their stop losses are sitting up here. So it hasn't actually grabbed liquidity. But once price taps into this 1 minute fair value gap, then you can potentially say, okay, finally we've grabbed that liquidity to sell off, which we did see it happen. It did happen, but that initial push up, it didn't sweep any high or low over here. So again, that hasn't grabbed enough liquidity for me. So that's why I was still anticipating price to move up higher before we can sell off. So that's kind of how you have to understand where the liquidity is sitting and when markets open, where are they pushing first to grab liquidity? If you haven't, you just have to identify where that liquidity is sitting, basically. Previous highs and lows, look, this high wasn't swept. We came close, but we didn't sweep it. So again, expecting price to come up higher. Do you believe you're in which session do you trade? London. How many challenges have you failed till you became profitable? Oh, I have failed so many challenges, probably around, I don't know. I haven't really looked at the number of how many actual accounts there were. There were tons, probably like 90 challenges maybe I failed before I actually got my first payout. Maybe like 60 to 80-ish probably in failed challenges before my first ever payout. FTMO payout update. Okay, I'll just show you that right now. Where is it? Okay, so the FTMO payout, you can see right here, it's up $43,297. And this is currently what it's in right now. And they're just evaluating my trade history. So until that happens, I'm kind of just waiting for that. So my trade history is just being evaluated. I should get a response either tomorrow morning. Yeah, it should be probably tomorrow. If not, then I'll email them, but I should get a response by tomorrow. I'm praying I get the payout. I don't know if I will, but we'll see. Wa alaikum salam. Oh my gosh, there's so many flipping questions. What the flip? Which session do you trade? Oh, bruv, shut up, man. I already said London. What time do you use for Asian range? So for the Asian range, on this indicator right here, it's called Asian range by Nico 3948. And my time zone is UTC +1. And this is the time sessions that I use for that indicator. So it's 20 o'clock and 2 o'clock. So that in the UK time gives me from 1 a.m. to 7 a.m. UK time. So whatever that is for you. I'm 6.8% down on my QT phase 2 account. I recently learned your strat. I would love advice on how much I should risk. If you're 6.8% down, again, it doesn't, you've studied my strategy, but again, how well do you implement it? I don't know. And how good is that actual setup? I don't know. It just depends on what setup you're taking and how good it looks. But I would personally risk like 1% per trade in that scenario. Actually, no, I would probably full poi on one trade, but if you can't, then probably like 1%. So that gives you 3 more losses, basically. If you're not happy with that, then maybe 0.5%. to bring yourself up like maybe 3% from that trade. And then once you're up that much, then you can start risking 1%. So maybe stick to 0.5% until you can bring yourself up to like maybe like 2% drawdown or 3% drawdown. And then from there, start risking 1%. So are you saying we can look for these moves and this break of structure on session opens? Yes. So on session opens for German 40, okay, that's key. On the other pairs, I don't really look at it for session opens. It doesn't really move that much, but I trade German 40 a lot because it just moves very clean. And you can see on London Open, there's just pretty much always volume, right? It just gives you those moves most of the time. So I kind of just stick to trading London session open on German 40. Everyone in my premium group knows that. They're just waiting for it. The moment 8 a.m. opens, they know that I'm just watching the market. So German 40 is a good one to trade on London Open. How much do you risk and how do you keep great psychology? I risk 4.5% in challenges. So if the prop firm allows me to, I will risk 4.5% in the phase 1 and phase 2. Once funded, I tend to drop my risk to 1% or 0.5% risk, and I kind of just stick to around that. In terms of psychology, you have to stop caring about the accounts. That's very crucial. Like, I can blow my accounts. I don't care. I'll just full port accounts. And like, I don't care if I fail it because I'm just following my strategy. If I see this setup, the moment price comes into this 1 minute fair value gap, it's clean. We've shifted structure to the upside. We've got 1 minute fair value gap in a discounted area. Price comes down to it. I'm taking my buy, stop loss below here. If it hits stop loss, I don't care. I don't care. This is valid. I'm going to take my setup every single time. If I lose the account, oh well, I know I'm going to pass it eventually. So it's like, I'm not worried. I know a lot of people, I used to have this as well. You would be very, very fearful that your setup's going to fail because like you're so attached to the setup. You're so scared of losing the account, right? And you're not confident that you can actually do it. So you're betting on everything on this one setup. Like, it just has to work because you don't believe that another one's going to come. But I know every single morning, German 40 just gives me my setups. So even if I flop today, I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. Tomorrow I'll probably get another one. So it's just trusting that your setup and your strategy works, having that confidence and not caring about your account losing. Because in the long term, I just trust the numbers. I know the numbers are going to work out in my favor. No matter how many losses I take, eventually I will make money. So having confidence in your own strategy and trusting that another setup's going to come. And you have to accept you're going to lose. You're going to lose accounts. You're going to lose challenges. But eventually it's going to work out. I just have that confidence now because I've had the payouts. That's what it's done to my psychology. I know I can do it. So even if I fail, it's like, whatever, I'm going to do it eventually. So it's just not caring about losing accounts and trusting your process. Right. What was the inner circle scene on IG? Yeah, it's my inner circle. You have to be in the inner circle to know what the inner circle is. It's just, I'm going to basically just help a lot of people. Just to say that. If these types of trades we're catching in the premium group, imagine what the inner circle is going to be doing. So that's what I'm going to say. How can we get your course? You need to join the waitlist on my Instagram. The link will be there. What time do you use for Asian range? I've already answered that. How much do you risk in challenges? Like 4.5% if I'm allowed to. If not, whatever the prop firm allows me in terms of the max risk that I'm allowed, I'll use that. What pairs do you trade? You can see right here. These are all the pairs that I trade. Main 3 are right here. Actually, you know what? I'll add USD/JPY to the main list because I do trade that quite a bit. So these are my 4 main pairs right here: German 40, NASDAQ, gold, and USD/JPY. And the only other one I somewhat dwell into is GBP/JPY and very rarely GBP/USD, and Euro/USD almost never. I don't even know why I have it. But these 4 are my main pairs right here. How many trades you trade in a day, which type of trader you are, and how much screen time do you usually need to trade? Wow. I trade maybe like 1 or 2 good setups a day. That's it. Good setups. Sometimes I do just impulsively enter like a bunch of random trades, but that's on me being stupid. But in terms of my actual setups that I wait for, like 1 or 2 a day, that's it. Because I trade very few pairs, so it's quite uncommon for me to get too many setups. So it's pretty much 1 or 2 trades a day. And my screen time is not that much in terms of analyzing the charts and entering. My screen time is like 9 hours a day on MetaTrader. or maybe like 5 hours a day on MetaTrader because I'm just watching my setup play out. That's not really me actually analyzing the market. In terms of analyzing the market and stuff, I know my sessions is between 7 and 8 and 9. So between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. is when I'm actually most likely going to enter a trade. So I kind of just watch the market between then. I do have a quick look at 5 a.m. So it's like I just quickly go on the market, see if we're in any key area. If not, then that's it, I leave it. So it's not really that much in terms of analyzing. I spent like 5 minutes looking at the market in terms of analyzing where I want to enter. How to join your signal group? Bro, shut up, man. It's not a signal group. So you're already bound to fail. So I don't want you in my group. So please don't join. Can you talk a little bit about your risk management and psychology? Just like I said, I risk as much as I'm allowed to in challenges. And once we get unfunded, I drop my risk to like 1% to 0.5%. And psychology wise, I just don't care if I fail the accounts. I fail a lot of accounts, trust me. I've shown this many times. I fail a lot of accounts, but I don't care. That's my psychology behind it. I don't care if I lose the accounts. Hello, how do you analyze the higher time frame based on the structure, liquidity, or fair value gap? If you watch the V2 crash course, it's for free. If you join the waitlist, you'll be able to see how. It's simply market structure, right? Market structure, that's all you need to know. Look, if you follow market structure, look right here, we have this low, we've broken it. Then we have this next low over here broken, but then we had a fair value gap here that was untested. And look, we retrace into that. And then we break structure to the downside again. So we have another low. It's just, we can see that the market is clearly printing bearish, 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 right? We had this break of structure to the upside, but was it actually a break of structure or was it a liquidity grab? Because look, we had an untested fair value gap right here. So price pushing up like this, above this high, you're going to think, oh, market structure shift. But no, we haven't actually broken this high over here. We're just coming into a 1 hour fair value gap. So we're still bearish, breaking this low again, bearish. We had a 4 hour fair value gap here, I remember. Look, do you see this wick? It came up breaking this high, but it didn't really break this high. So this was like a liquidity grab. We had an Asian range that was unswept, the Asian high over here. If we drop to the go to 4 hour time frame, we can see we had this 4 hour fair value gap that we actually retraced into. So I'm just following these inefficiencies in the market, which are fair value gaps. I just call it fair value gaps because people understand it better. But these are just inefficiencies in the market that need to be filled. So we had this 4 hour one over here. We can see price tapped into that, and then we continue down further, which was just above these highs. So over here, price tapped into that, and again, we break structure to the downside. That's all I'm doing. I'm just following market structure and looking at where the untested fair value gaps are, or the untested inefficiencies. Look, clear market structure. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower. That's it. That's all it is. I'm just following that. So over here, we retrace up again into this area, which I was looking to sell, but I didn't actually enter. But point is, I was looking to sell over here, and we started rejecting. But I feel like we might come up a bit higher and then sell off. But we'll see how market opens on Monday. But yeah, that's all I'm doing. I'm just following market structure. Now I can do this exact same thing on the 1 minute time frame. Same thing here. We had a market structure shift to the upside. We retrace, fair value gap, buy, push up, break of structure again, fair value gap, buy. Like, that's all I'm doing. I'm just following market structure. That's all you need to do. It's really like very simple. Right. Do you use OTE, optimal trade entry, when trading, like using a fib tool? So it's not okay. So for the OTE, so optimal trade entry is basically, for me, premium and discounted areas. So if I use a fib tool from the low and the high, I can see that from this wick low to this high, this fair value gap right here is sitting below 50%. So that is in a discounted area. Now, from this low to this high, we can see that we only had one fair value gap here. We did have a tiny one here, but the thing was that because market open pushed up like very impulsively on 8 o'clock, London open, we had this fair value gap right here. And then once the price came into it, we pushed up, created this big 1 minute bullish candle. So now we're just kind of taking the buy off there. But again, this was we can see price came down at least below 50% into a discount area. So that's kind of what I use in terms of the OTEs. If we're in a premium or discounted area, that's how I kind of base my trades off. How many trades are sharp, man? What was your inner circles? Bro, how many these same questions are there? Zamko, how many challenges have you failed? Sorry, you answered that. Can you see the big H4 gap on German 40? Where are you talking about? No, I don't see it. There was one over here, which I was expecting to be filled, which finally was filled, but I don't really see anywhere else. Maybe on your broker it's showing, but I don't see it on mine. How do you analyze the higher time frame? I'm going to answer that. Do you generally find a trade every day? Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much every single day you will find some sort of entry on something. Between these pairs, there'll probably be something, right? Unless it's like a bank holiday or price is just consolidating and not doing anything. But most of the time, yeah, pretty much every day I'll find a setup. What's the win rate for the strategy? It's not really a strategy. You're just following what the market's telling you. You're following market structure. If you get a good market structure opportunity and you get a clean fair value gap, I would say for German 40, the win rate, I would say, if you are correctly marking out your liquidity and correctly marking out your premium and discount areas, correctly following the market structure, you will most likely, this probably has around an 80% win rate. That's what I would say. Pretty much almost every time I trade German 40, most of the times it is just wins. So I would say around 80% for German 40 in terms of using the market opens and following market structure. I would say that's around 80% win rate. 70 to 80. What's your favorite Fibonacci connection points? Just highs and lows of the wicks. I don't use candle bodies, I use wicks. I'm not answering this guy again. Does this work with gold? Because I use almost the same strategy after 1 minute structure, eventually get stopped out and then again. Yeah, gold, I do the same thing, but it's just not as clean for me. We had this good, okay, so this was a trade that I sent in my premium group. We had this 1 hour fair value gap. Here, look, again, before anyone thinks it's all fake, I'll show you. This is the Mentors Charts group. You can see, where was it? Okay, here we go. XAU USD H1 fair value gap, could see it continue to previous high. This is what I sent into the premium group. You can see right there very clearly, 1 hour fair value gap at the 50% discount level. Price came into it, and I was potentially looking for buys to the previous high, which is up here. Let's go to gold, and we can see price came down into that fair value gap at the discount, pushed up to previous high. That was your target, and that's it. That's all it is. So gold does work. The 1 minute structure, I guess it also does work on that as well, because we can see price came down into it, and then we shifted structure to the upside, then we retraced down a bit. But from this market structure shift over here that pushed price up over here, we can see this low was never broken. And when we look to the left, we retrace down into some sort of 3 minute fair value gap there, and then we continue all the way up. So again, it does work on gold. I just prefer it on German 40. It's just easier for me. I believe that German 40 just has much cleaner market structure. So that's why I kind of use German 40 much more. It's just much better. It's just a much better pair to use. Okay, does this work on going out? Even though the 5, bruv, this Gupta guy, fam, I'm gonna ban you. Flipping, oh my gosh. Oh, there's too many questions. Bro, if you guys are going to keep spamming your questions, I'm not going to answer you. You know, any message that I see that's been spammed, I'm not answering you. That's it. Flip you. Waste, man. Flip you. I ain't answering any of you. Okay, your favorite Fibonacci, we answered that. Do you trade currency pairs? Not really. The only one is USD JPY, pretty much. Have you been to Traders Meet with QT on Ascendex and Canary Wharf? I believe I saw you there. Yeah, I did go there, so that's probably where you saw me. Do you have any backtest data of your strategy? No, I don't. If you want to backtest it, go for it. I mean, there's nothing to really backtest in terms of like, oh, it's his strategy or whatever. Just follow market structure. I mean, that's like a common concept in the market. Just follow market structure. When will Inner Circle be open? Very soon. Do you have any backtests? No. Are you always entry on fair value gaps? Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much always my entries are on fair value gaps. How much will it be? I'm not going to answer that. You'll find out. Where do we look to learn your strategy? Well, the V3 will be launching soon. The V2 is completely free. If you join the waitlist on my Instagram bio, you'll be able to see the V2 crash course for free. So that's where you can learn. Can you see the big? Yeah. What about PO3? The power of three. I mean, it's the same thing, right? I mean, is this not power of three? We have a market structure shift, 1. We have a fair value gap, 2. It's in a discounted area, 3. That's it. That's all I need. Or you could say, yeah, we also swept to low as well. So that's what kind of makes it a bit more valid. So we swept to low and then got a market structure shift. So that's, there we go, 4, power of 4 if you want. But like I do have 3 to 4 confluences on every single trade pretty much. What's the win rate? Around 8%. How many trades? Oh, shut up, man. Shub Gupta, I'm gonna ban you from Discord. I don't care. You're jarring. Flipping annoying guy. Does higher time frame matter on this German trade? Yes, because the reason I was expecting price to come up was because on the higher time frame we had broken structure to the downside, and I was expecting a retracement up into the 1 hour fair value gap. So using that bias, I'm now anticipating a retracement up, and then I enter on the 1 minute time frame, looking at that market structure shift on the 1 minute time frame. So I'm kind of basing it all off the higher time frame where I'm expecting price to go. Do you trade SMTs? No, I do not. Liquidity sweep is important, or high time frame key level, like PDRA previously. All of it is important. My liquidity sweep is this low being swept over here. Once we swept that low, I'm expecting on the higher time frame price to come up to the key level, which is the 1 hour fair value gap. So it's all using everything all in one. I don't just use one single thing. How much cost your course? Right now it's free, so the V2 is completely free for you to join. The V3 is coming soon, and that's going to cost quite a bit. I don't know. I'm still deciding that. Because I feel like I'm undervaluing everything, you know. I did want to help people, but now I see how stupid people are. And when you give stupid people very cheap stuff, they just don't do well with it. The smart people, they're willing to pay a bit more, but because they're paying so much, they're actually going to, you know, put in the effort. So they actually perform much better, I've noticed. So I don't want to actually keep undervaluing my stuff. I'm actually annoyed with a lot of people that buy my stuff, because it's always the idiots that just want cheap stuff, and then they're the ones that just don't do anything. So I'm going to have to stop undervaluing my stuff. I have a normal Forex account with QT Prime account. Can I trade German 40? Yeah, you should be able to. It should either be DE40, DE30, German 40, German 30. So it's either one of those. Can you give us more examples? Yeah, I'll go through them. Don't worry. Oh, bloody hell. So many flipping spams. Shut up. If you use the Kamara's pivot point, you can see where your profit should have been. Okay, I don't need to look at any of these pivot points or whatever. Just use market structure and liquidity and premium and discounted pricing. What else? Does high time frame matter? Yeah. Doesn't the firm restrict you due to too much risk? No, because it depends on the prop firm. Funding Pips allows me to use the whole daily drawdown per trade, so I use that. FTMO only allows me to use 1% risk. That's only for me, by the way, not everyone, because I've been put into the restricted group. So it's whatever they allow me to. So I am allowed to risk as much as they allow me to, pretty much. You guys really need to stop spamming these questions, because I'm just going to ban you. Have you backtested your shut up? Do you still mark higher time frame order blocks and look for a market structure? I mark out higher time frame fair value gaps and order blocks, yes. So once price taps into them, then I look to the 1 minute to get some sort of market structure shift, and then I take my entry based off that. Yes. What time frame do you prefer your fair value gaps to be on? All of them. It doesn't matter. I use the daily fair value gaps. I use 4 hour, 30 minute, 1 hour, 15 minute, 5 minute, 3 minute, 1 minute. I use all of them. It just depends on how I'm trying to. So this is another thing. People, they really just limit themselves like, oh, I 3-minute fair value gap, and that's my strategy. It's like, well, you're limiting yourself because you're going to get fair value gaps on different time frames. Why limit yourself to one single thing? I use fair value gaps on all time frames. Just whatever lines up with the liquidity, with the market structure, with the premium and discounted pricing, whatever lines up with that, I use that. I don't limit myself in terms of time frame. When's V3 launching? Very soon. No need to ask so many times. How many percentage do you risk on funded? Around 1% to 0.5%. Prior commented first in your inner circle story, and also in this free call, can I get the free 5K account? No, you can't, bruv. Shout. You don't, bruv. Look, look at this. Look at what I'm seeing right here. You guys can see this, right? You see this guy right here, Shubh Gupta. Yeah, this guy. Look at how many times he spammed the same question. I know who you are now. I'm gonna flip and ban you. Can I ban him here? Remove comment. Oh, yes, I can. Put this user in timeout. Hide user on this channel. Done. He's gone now. Good. He's gone. Frippin' idiot. Show us NASDAQ. Yeah, I'll show you. There's no need to demand it like that. Hey, Zamco, please do use order blocks again, especially when they're closer to each other. I sometimes do. Most of the time I don't. I just use fair value gaps. It's like, why enter at an extreme point when I can enter a bit earlier on? I'm just so far. Okay, I'm very far in the chats apparently in terms of the people that have been asking questions. There's too many. I don't know what to do. You say you don't care if you blow an account. What if someone's beginner and doesn't have a lot of capital to buy more accounts? Yeah, exactly. So again, if you're starting out and you don't have a lot of capital, so you can't blow many accounts, the only thing really is to accept that you're going to lose and be okay with losing, but also risk like 0.5. I would say like risk 1% per trade. But again, I can't tell you all of this because I don't know how you're trading. I don't know how good your trading is. I don't know how good your risk to reward is. My strategy works for me because I know I have a high risk to reward strategy. I know I win a lot of trades. And even if I go on a losing streak, I know my risk to reward is so high that I can risk the same amount, and eventually that one win is going to take up and win, it's going to recover all of my losses and make me profit. So I can't answer these questions like how much should I risk and how do I go about it, because I don't know how you're trading. My system works for me. I can tell you exactly how I trade. I know I can tell you exactly what my system is. It doesn't mean it's going to work for you because you might trade differently. I trade high risk to reward. I risk my max daily drawdown in challenges, and on funded I risk like 1% or 0.5%. So it's very hard to answer those questions. But if you are starting out, I would say first understand what's your risk to reward and what's your win rate. Based off that, you decide how much you want to risk. I have a very set criteria for when I enter a trade. Market structure shift or market structure, breakout structure, whatever. So it's basically following market structure, premium or discounted price, wherever that fair value gap is sitting. That's third. And then that's it. And it also depends on how that market structure happened, like how the market structure shift happened, or if it was a breakout structure, did it grab liquidity and then it happened. So it's just basically four little criteria, and that's kind of all I use. I am very high up in these chats. Let's see. I'm sorry, I might skip a few questions. There's a lot of spammers. Okay, I'm near the end. All right, calm. Is this being recorded? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know how YouTube works in terms of lives. I'm hoping that it does save the whole live. We'll see. If I have an option to publish it, I will press that, but we'll see. Bro, can you just show a trade from V3 course trade? What? I don't remember. It was filmed like a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I don't know. I don't remember what trades I showed. I don't know. I'll go through more examples today. Don't worry. After this German 41. After I answer these questions, I'll go on to more setups. Don't worry. How do we claim the premium waitlist member role? Yeah, go onto the Instagram, join the waitlist through my Instagram bio. There will be a link there. Join the waitlist through there. Then from that, you'll get a link to the WAP. Go to WAP, connect your Discord to the premium waitlist on WAP, and then that will give you the role on Discord to basically see the waitlist stuff. So that's how you do it. Zamka, why don't you find your personal account instead of trading prop firms? Because I'm not great with my own psychology. That's the brutal truth. I'm not great with my own psychology. I need these external restrictions because I'm not restricted on personal account. I can risk 10%. I can risk 50%. I can risk the whole account in one trade. So I'm not great. I'm not that disciplined. So I kind of prefer to have prop firms kind of limit me, and I kind of perform better on prop firms. So I've seen where I perform better and where I don't. So that's why I don't really use personal capital. What would you say is the easiest pair to trade in terms of respecting previous PDRAs? Why are you looking at PDRAs if I'm showing you a very easy like setup? I don't get it. It's like, well, what pair works with PDRAs? It's like, why are you trading that? If clearly there's something better, why not do that? That's another thing that flipping irritates me. What works better with PDRAs? PDRAs, like, why are you stuck on PDRAs? Just follow market structure. It's quite simple. German 40, I would say, German 40 and NASDAQ, they work pretty well. I would say just that. Why don't you just trade US 30? Just curious. Because I don't like it. It just doesn't follow market structure very nicely. That's it. It's simple. Where can you get the V2? Already answered that. V2 again, yeah. Instagram bio, join the waitlist, connect your Discord on the WAP to the premium waitlist, and then that's it. You will see the V2 in Discord. How do you tell the difference between a breakout structure and a liquidity sweep? Good one. Okay. How do you tell the difference between a market structure shift or breakout structure or liquidity sweep? First, you want to mark out your highs and your lows, right? And you can see, so sometimes, I'm going to answer this, yeah? Sometimes you mark out your high and your low, right? And then what you see is we have this high and our low. Sorry, from here. Now, price did reject, so price did come into a premium area. It did retrace above 50%. Sometimes when price retraces up, but it doesn't retrace more than 50% of the entire move, that usually is an inducement retracement. So when that high is broken and there's like a fair value gap sitting just above it, and then we start retracing down, to me, that doesn't signify a break of structure to the upside because we are rejecting a fair value gap that's sitting above liquidity. Now, if you look at this area right here, before price started coming down to break structure to the downside, it just consolidated, right? There was no clean liquidity sweep and then straight down. We just consolidated so much. That, again, to me, screamed liquidity. So it's about how the low is made. Did we consolidate a lot just below a fair value gap? Or did we finally tap into a premium fair value gap and then reject? We had this untested fair value gap up here. So even though price broke structure to the upside, it came into a fair value gap. And then we started coming back down. So again, that is how you identify whether or not it's a break of structure or potentially a liquidity sweep, is where is it coming up to and where is it rejecting? So you have to look at things like that. Thanks so much. Zamco is blessed. Deserve it all. Keep it simple. It's really all you need. Yeah, that's all you need, man. Thank you so much. You're welcome. How do you still use Asian high and low? Do you still use Asian high and low as liquidity on NASDAQ? Yes, I still use Asian highs and lows and liquidity as liquidity, but you have to understand, how is that Asian range formed? Was it consolidating? Is there a fair value gap above it? Is there a fair value gap below it? If it's just consolidating and overall price is bullish, and then we sweep the Asian low, I'm going to expect price to sweep the high if overall we are still pushing bullish. So it's about understanding where the market is heading, and you use Asian range to your advantage based off that. Can you do live trading analysis and trade execution one day? That will be for the Inner Circle members. I'll be doing live trading here and there for them. So you might want to be in the Inner Circle. Bro, I just got your V2 course for free and got some good forward trades on NASDAQ and on gold. That's good, man. I'm glad the V2 helped you. Actually, aren't live accounts haram because of the involvement of riba? But if you don't pay swap fees, where is the interest? So if you don't hold overnight, you're not paying interest. If you have swap free accounts, you're not paying interest. So that kind of makes it okay to some extent, unless there's some other reasoning. But if you're not paying any interest in terms of avoiding swap fees, then you're not paying interest, so it should be fine, right? Can you give more examples? Yeah, don't worry. So you don't look at for PDRAs. I do look at previous daily highs and lows as targets. It just depends. So you see right here, okay? Where is it? Where is it? There was a here we go. This is there was one good example. It's just like a textbook one. Basically, okay. So you see right here, this daily candle, right? If we have a higher time frame target, let's say up here, we have this high over here, or even actually we have this one, this daily candle fair value gap right here. So let's say we have our overall higher time frame target. Now on this daily candle, right? This daily candle right here, you can see it has this wick over here. Now, as it's making its wick to the downside, I'm expecting to take a buy to continue up to sweep this next previous daily high. So I'm taking my buy over here to take this previous daily high. So I'm using that as a target. So those are my PD arrays that I'm looking at to target. So yes, I do use previous daily highs and lows as targets and as reversal points. So in this scenario, we swept the daily low in Asian session straight away without really making much of a top wick. So I was kind of anticipating some sort of retracement, right? So again, it's like we've swept the Asian lows, the previous daily lows. So I'm expecting some sort of a retracement, right? So I do use previous daily highs and lows as targets and as reversals or liquidity grabs. How long do people need to wait on the wait list? Until I'm ready. Will the new premium be separate to the Inner Circle? There is no new premium. The Inner Circle is the premium, but way more added benefit and value. So it's going to be different. V2 got me funded in a week. Alhamdulillah, I need to join the Inner Circle. So there you go. V2, this person got V2 crash course for free, and now they got funded. So it's very simple. Trading is very simple. And I'm here to show you, like, it's not that hard. It's very simple. It's difficult, sure, but it's very simple. I'm in the server, bro. What's new? Because he is a gambler. In which session often you trade? London. Is the same risk management? I don't know what that means. Do you sometimes take trades during NY session if it shows up? Yeah, if I have like a high, let's say this area right here, right? We just started consolidating, and then in NY we finally push up into my higher time frame fair value gap for German 40, and then I start getting a reversal on the 1 minute time frame. Yes, I'll take that in NY, but typically I like the London session volume, so I kind of just trade that. But sometimes I do get in on NY session. Bit of a silly question. What's the thing on the trading view that shows 100%, 50% zone that you marked on the 1 hour chart? So the 50% thing is simply premium and discount pricing. So if price moves down, creates this lower low, typically we will get a retracement above 50% into a premium area to then continue down. Now, in a buy scenario, if price is coming broken structure to the upside and now we're retracing down, if it comes below 50% of the entire move, that is coming into a discounted area. That's all it is. If price comes up into a 50% for retracement up to go down, we're coming up to a premium area. Anything below 50% is a discounted area. That's it. Zamco, why not full margin one of your prop firm payouts on your personal accounts with high leverage. You could do crazy flips because I'm not stupid. I'm not going to risk that amount of money. What are order blocks and break blocks, bro? Do I even use them? Why are you asking me? How do I get the V2? I've already answered that. Oh, perfect. So because I'm in the premium now, will my price stay the same or increase? Because I want to stay, bro. So much source in there already. I know there's a lot of value there, which is why if you're already in my premium, I believe you should be getting a huge discounted rate basically to be in the inner circle. So don't worry about that. I'll speak to you directly. Don't worry about that. What are your key time frame and what the flip is TMF? I don't know what that means. What would you wait for? Would you wait for a market structure shift and a break structure for entry, or just market structure shift? Yeah, just the market structure shift alone. I don't really need like two separate ones, like a market structure shift, then a break structure. I don't really need that. It's just the initial market structure shift. Depends how it happens. If it's coming down for a fake market structure shift, potentially coming down, let's say, into a fair value gap and then continuing up, that's not a clear market structure shift for me. I need to look at if there's any liquidity below, which it needs to come down to further. So if it's already grabbing liquidity from below and then starting to push up, I don't know if that's a market structure shift or not. That might just be a liquidity sweep. So it depends on how that market structure shift happens. But typically, yes, I only need one market structure shift to enter my trade. Do you trade NAS during London? When it's behaving correctly, sure. But right now, NASDAQ is all over the place. Literally since February, since Trump came in or whatever, it's been kind of whack. So I haven't really traded NASDAQ much. How do you analyze your daily bias? I've already talked about that. Literally just higher time frame, highs and lows. Look how simple this is. Break structure, retrace, break structure, retrace, break structure. Like that's what I'm doing. Just on the daily time frame, you can see it's just making wicks above and you just keep taking your sells. Like I'm just following market structure. That's how my daily higher time frame analysis is done. If you trade like Yorimi and Wakar, well, I mean, they are quite profitable for a reason. It's very simple. Just follow market structure and liquidity and premium and discount. Absolute go. Jazakallah khair for answering. No problem, man. Looks like there is an MM market structure shift. That will happen next week. Okay, whatever. Hello, mate. How long you been trading for? Been trading for 7 years now. Zamco, if you're not sure about your risk, reward, and strategy, why not risk a significant amount of your own funds for exponential returns? Because it's too much risk. Why open myself to so much risk? On prop firms, I'm only risking my challenge for you. So even if I blow the account, it doesn't matter. But if it's in my personal account, I'm risking quite a lot of money. And if that trade doesn't work, I lose a lot. Why expose myself to so much risk? Could I get a lot of money in return? Sure, but I could also lose a lot. Why risk that? Do you wait for a reaction at the fair value gap or anything? No, I typically just set a limit. Sorry, I meant what are your key timeframes and how do you go about it? I've already answered that. I'll use anything from daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, 30 minute, 15, 5, 3, and 1 minute. I use all of them. Zamco, who's better at COD, you or Tren? Definitely our Tren. He is way better than me. I'm nothing compared to him. He's been like in the top 250 multiple times. I've been nowhere near. I'm horrible at that game. Do you look for a liquidity sweep before market structure shift, or it doesn't really matter? I typically do look for a liquidity sweep, but your idea of liquidity sweep might be different to mine. It might just be a little 1 minute low or 1 minute wick that's broken first, and then we get the reaction to the 1 minute fair value gap. So it depends. For example, look, let me show you. On this setup right here, right here, you see we had this 1 minute fair value gap, right? Right here. Price came down, you can see, and price pushed up, breaking this high. So then you'd be thinking, oh, we've broken this high, we should just continue. But no, this is liquidity for me. This little wick over here that didn't tap into the 1 minute fair value gap, that's my liquidity. So the moment that was swept, then it's like, oh, finally you've got a liquidity sweep into the 1 minute fair value gap. So it depends on your idea of a liquidity sweep. Literally these internal highs and lows just being swept to then come into the fair value gap, that's ideal for me. So many questions. WAP is not available in my region, then I'm sorry I cannot help you. What is your original country, Zamco? Pakistan. What do you think about gold and oil with the latest 1 hour news? I don't know. I think oil apparently might go up. Same for gold. I think that's what's going to happen. So when market opens on gold, I'm expecting a big push up. So that's what I'm expecting. But we'll see. I don't really know about economic stuff, so I don't know. Is it possible to me buy out from the wait list to the premium? Nope, there is not. Do you think an 18-year-old trader is ahead? If you're starting at 18 currently, and let's say you're learning all of this stuff that I'm teaching you, it's very simple stuff. If you can apply that and stick to that, you're way ahead of where I was. Trust me. I was learning some random crap like trend lines and crap. But if you're learning all of this basic stuff that I'm teaching, or simple stuff, you're way ahead of where I was. So I think you can push way further than I ever did. Guys, please stop encouraging him to trade personal. I'm going to lose the house deposit. Yep, I already have. Just a bit. Have you seen any correlation between Dean and trading psychology? I guess, maybe, yeah. Something I need to work on. So I guess that's why I kind of struggle with my trading psychology at points. So I guess that should indicate what I need to work on. Yeah. Me and J3 remember Zamco's last account flip? Yes. Account flips are fun, but I risk too much. It's not I really shouldn't. Thanks, man, for keeping everything simple. Lots of people out there confusing people. I know, it's so confusing out there. And my wife was telling me the same thing. It's like, I told her to just quickly go on go on Instagram or YouTube just to understand the basics of trading. Then I'll teach her all the advanced stuff, right? But when she started searching up all the just basics of trading, it was so confusing. And some guy was telling her, like, this is what an order block is. I'm like, are you stupid? That's not what an order block is. Like, that's so stupid. So it's like, yeah, out there, people really confuse a lot about trading. It's not hard. Just market structure, fair value gaps, and liquidity in terms of highs and lows, and just discounted areas. Break structure, liquidity, simple. Market structure shift, discount area, fair value gap, buy. Market structure shift again, well, break structure to the upside. Fair value gap in a discounted area from this high. Boom, push up. Like, we're just following market structure. That's all I do. At what point do you keep break even? When I would make a trade break even is when when all the fair value gaps around my entry have been tapped. So this fair value gap right here was open, but once we tapped into this fair value, so my buy was over here, right around about here. So once price broke this structure, and then we retrace and then started pushing up more and then breaking structure again. So I know this fair value gap's been tapped into and now we're pushing up, then I could make it risk-free. But until this fair value gap wasn't tested, I couldn't make it risk-free because, again, my entry's still at this fair value gap right here. So it could have retraced down into here and then continued up. But once I got the confirmation that we've rejected this and started pushing up, there's no reason for price to then come back down. So it's understanding how market structure is moving and if fair value gaps have all been tested around your area. So that's when I choose to make a break even. Are market structure shift valid on higher time frame? Yes. So Vito is basically all your strat is about. Pretty much. There's little bits and bobs that you need to also have as a confluence and just little extra bits and here and there. So that's what the V3 is for. And V3 is full of more examples and in-depth explanation of every single thing. Do you speak Pashto? No, because I'm not Afghan. For a startup, what would you advise for analyzing making on any instrument? I don't know what that means. For anyone starting up, what would you advise analyzing? I don't know what that means. Use German 40, use TradingView, and mark out your market structure and fair value gaps. Do you use fundamentals or kind of have a glance at them? Nope, I don't use fundamentals at all. Do you trade Bitcoin? Nope. Zamco is hard to get like 10 million in prop funds, but personal is very well possible. Stop. I don't get why you're so obsessed with me trading personal. If you want to do it, flip and do it. I don't care. I don't want to do it. What's your win rate? If I follow my actual strategy, it's around 70 to 80% win rate. If I stick to German 40 and stick to this strategy, it is around 70 to 80% on regular market conditions. So yeah, it's pretty high. And your risk to reward is very high on this strategy as well. On the fair value gap entry, do you enter off open or at 50% of it? Usually at the open of it, because I just don't want to miss the trade. I would rather get in with a low risk to reward than miss the trade. Honestly, how do you deal with your low win rate but the high risk to reward trade? Okay. My low win rate is only because I don't follow my plan, right? If I follow my plan, I have a good win rate and a good risk to reward. But when I take my dumb trades, I know I'm going to be in consecutive losses, right? I can take all of them, but I just know that the one trade that's going to win, because I understand how the market moves and I understand how the daily candles need to make a big wick high to then continue down lower. I know my higher time frame target, so I can expect price to go to those big areas, so I can hold those trades for a long time or throughout the day, and I know it's going to return back all my money. So it's about having confidence that I know how the market moves, right? I know the higher time frame targets. It's just about confidence. That's all it is, really. Can I mail you? Badly need the course. It will be made clear, and it will be made. It's free. You have to join the premium waitlist to be able to see it. But after all of that premium waitlist stuff is done, it will be very easily available for everyone. So literally, just give it like a few more weeks. It's not that long. All right. So you don't consider paying much attention to fundamentals. If you want to, you can, but I don't, because I'm only getting in and out of the trade within the same day. I'm not looking to hold the trade for weeks and having to know where the economic situation is. It's just in the day, in and out. So I don't need to know the fundamentals. Oh, there's so many questions. What a flip. The course I bought from you helped me a lot. Thanks a lot. You're very welcome. Please show the strategy on gold too. Well, why would I? Okay, I can, but it's like, why are you so obsessed with me showing you that? Look for yourself. Like, the flip. This is another thing. People just don't just do it themselves. They just want me to do everything for them. Look yourself, you'll see it. A lot of you people, when you see a strategy online, you just want the other person to just keep showing you like examples. What I did to learn this, I looked at some random post on Instagram, like one picture of just market structure and fair value gaps and stuff. I just look at a random picture and I instantly go to the charts and start applying it to different pairs. It's like, can I see it? Does it work? A lot of you just want to be spoon fed. So it's like, flip you all. Like, constantly waiting on me to do all the work for you. That's freaking irritates me. Do you pay taxes yourself or have you hired someone to do the tax for me? I have an accountant. How you trade Top Step and same risk settings and other than NQ? I don't know. I just full point it. What's up with the pressure to trade personal funds? You're weird for real, because I can't do it. I don't have the psychology for it. I know how to in terms of the actual, like, I know how to trade, but I don't have the discipline, so I tend to go overboard when it comes to personal funds. What country are you from? Pakistan. What do you do trend lines or just ICT concepts? Where do you see trend lines? Is it allowed to trade NAS 100 as a Muslim? I think you are better off asking a scholar or a sheikh, not me. Do you use copy trading between your funded accounts? No, I just manually enter on multiple funded accounts. All I'm saying, guys, premium is eating good. Alhamdulillah. Yes, exactly. If people in premium chat are flipping, they're passing their challenges very easily. What would you do when you have entered a trade but see a better risk reward set up on a different pair? I just don't enter, because if I'm in a trade, that's it. I just leave it. If I'm in a valid trade, I'm not going to just look at something else and enter that. Once I'm in one trade, I don't enter anything else. I kind of just leave it. Can we get a couple of German 40 examples? Sure. If you guys stop asking me questions, I'll do it. What would you do when you have can someone tell me how to get the course? I've already answered that many times. Please give me a 5K eval for sharp. Can you analyze another trade, please? Yes, I will. Why would you say you are a continuation trader? Yes, I would. I just follow the trend. Can you give me advice on? I've passed many evals, but I blow it on the last stage. If you've passed your evaluation and then you blow it on the last stage, it's got nothing to do with your strategy. That's just your own discipline and your own mindset. You need to work on why you're trading and stop aiming to receive a certain amount of payout or something. I guess that's what it is. It's just your psychology. It's got nothing to do with strategy. I love the fact they keep it raw and simple, brother. Change my mindset rather than all these overcomplicated crap. These people need to stop overthinking and just listen. I know people overcomplicate trading and overthink so much. It's very, very simple. The DE40 is sick. Yes, German 40 is amazing. If you have regional, I got a way around that. Has making so much money made you a happier person? Oh, that's a good one. Has making so much money made you a happier person? Genuine question. No. Has not. It's given me relief in terms of I don't need to worry about bills and stuff. I'm not worried about that. Like I had basically I pay 6 months rent up front, right? I had to do that because I didn't have an income to show to be able to afford the rent, right? But so they were skeptical about my income. So they said, would you be able to do 6 months rent up front? I was like, yeah, sure. So I paid that. And like I don't have to worry about things like that, like my rent, my car, the fuel, the food. I don't need to worry about any of that. So it's definitely relieving, but does it make me happier? No. That's my own personal issues. So no, money hasn't made me happier, but it's definitely given me much more relief, so I don't have to worry about bills. Like right now I can just go on Uber and like I don't look at the prices of things to order when it comes to food. It's just like, do I want that burger? What toppings do I want? I'm not looking at, oh, it's an extra £1 charge for this topping, or how much is the burger. I'm not looking at that. I'm just like, do I want that? Yes or no? And then I just get that. So there is that relief, but it hasn't given me more happiness. That's my own fault because it's in my nature. I know for someone else, if they had more money, it would make them happier, but it's not in my nature because I'm constantly wanting more. So I'm in that very. It's not a good state to be in. So no, it hasn't really made me a happier person. Hey, bro. Honestly, how many accounts do you blow on average before you pass an eval? Like, do you lose 3 accounts before you pass one? Okay, example. I blew my Funding Pips 300k funded account. I bought one yesterday. 3 100k accounts. I passed them all. I passed phase 1 on the first attempt. So it's like it depends, but most of the time when I start a challenge, I'll probably blow it like once or twice, and then I'll just pass all the way to funded. Like I don't really blow that many accounts anymore. I used to before, but since I started trading German 40, I don't really blow that many accounts. My win rate is quite good with this. What would make you happy? Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I don't know what would make me happy. I don't know. You can give me £1 million and I would probably still not be happy. It's not about the money. The money is just relief. It's not happiness. I don't know what would make me happy. How long are your sessions, London and NY? Do you not know what London session, NY, what sessions are? Like London session, typically I trade from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. That's kind of my window for London. NY session from 1 o'clock, or NYSE sometimes I trade, but basically New York session is 1 o'clock for me till like 5 p.m. UK time. So that's kind of my window. After 5, even after like 4 or 5 p.m. UK time, that's it. I'm done. I'm not looking for entries in the market because that's it. The trading day is done. Yeah, treat yourself, brother. Get yourself a nice burger tonight. I would, but my wife made some very nice spinach and chicken, so I'm gonna eat that. Zamko, is your wife interested in trading? And if yes, did you teach her? She is interested in trading, and I did teach her quite a bit. But she has also like learned some stuff online, but I've kind of just guided her to the right thing. And the mail continue to bless you, Zamko. Thanks for answering all our questions. Truly amazing, man. You're absolutely welcome, man. Have you invested in any property with your payouts? Not yet, but that's why I'm stacking my money to do. So I am planning to get into property. Bro, normally I'm able to access WAP, but from your get access page, I'm unable to access WAP. Look, WAP's a bit of a mess right now. Give it a few more days. I'm going to sort everything out, so maybe that should help it. I've realized trading is his place to shine. I don't strive to trade anymore. Please look after yourself, bro. You're a great guy. Thanks so much for giving back. You're absolutely welcome. What would you say the one thing you changed that made you see success in trading? Like I said, it's the confidence. When I got my first ever payout, that changed my mindset completely, because then I realized everything. It's real. I can do it. So it was confidence. And because I had built up a few payouts, even if I lost an account, I wouldn't care. I could just buy another challenge. So it was not caring that I'm going to lose an account, and then confidence that my strategy works. So that's all that's all that changed. I was confident that it will work, and I knew that even if I blow an account, I can buy another one. So it's not caring about the account, and then the confidence in my strategy. That's the only two things that really changed. Please, Zamco, make sure this gets saved to too much insights covered here, including all my questions answered. Yeah, I'm gonna try and save it. I don't know how YouTube works. If it doesn't, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna try. When it says end stream, so when I click that, hopefully there's a publish option, so it should save it. Come to Sri Lanka for vacation, you'll be happy. I do want to come to Sri Lanka. That'd be cool. Do you see yourself opening a prop firm in the near future, or funds to the students to manage your capital as they get split? No, it's just too much work, and I don't trust other people, so no. When will you trade where will you trade just off an imbalance without market structure? Sometimes I do. It depends on how big that zone is and how big my stop loss is. I can sometimes just enter without having a market structure confirmation. Once again, much love from Kenya. Your crash course really changed the game for me. I appreciate that. I'm glad it did. Do you use change of character or just break or structure? I use both. Do you experience the freedom trading gives you and escaping the 9-to-5 matrix? Oh my gosh, flipping yes. In terms of the freedom it's given me, I'm just free. It's actually a big difference in my life now. Like I just don't worry about what day it is. Or I don't even know if it's like I don't know what the date is or what day it is. If it is it Wednesday, I don't know, because it's not like I'm looking forward to the weekend or anything. I don't know. Like I am just free to do whatever I want. Like I went Turkey the other day, or like 2-3 weeks ago. I never thought about I need to set the plane dates to this day so that I can go over the weekend or something like that, or I need to ask for annual leave. I just looked at what planes am I going to get, because I wanted to get the good plane. So I just picked those days. It's like I don't even look at what date am I free or whatever. So yeah, the freedom is flipping amazing. I can just do whatever I want whenever I want. I can just go to the gym in the morning, and whilst everyone else is getting ready for work, I'm just driving back home to just lay back down or something. Like I definitely have experienced the big freeing aspects of trading. Can I help you? Can I help you when you want to get into property? I know. Can I help you? I already have like my friend's dad. He's a flipping tycoon when it comes to properties, and I've had a long chat with him. He knows exactly what he's talking about, so I'm just going to be partnering up with him basically. Zamka, I know what makes you happy being an Instagram food influencer. I do love food. That does make me happy when I have good food. That is true. I do like going to good restaurants and eating good food. That it does give me a bit of a kick. I think a bit of adrenaline stuff does make me a bit excited, I guess. I don't know about happy, but it definitely makes me excited. Not roller coasters and crap. I like to be in control. So when I do like a launch start in my AMG, it gets my heart racing, and it is kind of fun. So things like that do make me a bit happy. I got mentored by Bunny's boy that does property. Okay, fine. Look, man, I've already got people for that. How do you overcome fear in the market after having so much losses? It's confidence in my strategy. It's just proven over time that, oh yeah, the strategy works. So I'm just gonna stick to that. I remember on an interview you said you don't love trading. Would you say it's because of the stress and psychological issues it comes with? Yeah, it's about it's the stress that my money is dependent on my performance. So if I'm not performing that great, it's eating into my money. So it's like I don't just have a set income every month that comes, and I just know, like it's dependent on me constantly having to perform good. That stress alone, it can eat away at me. And then the amount of time I spend on my phone, like looking at the charts, and like if I'm in a position, I'm constantly just watching my position, even though I'm confident that pretty much it'll probably work. But I'm so invested in the market that I will just be watching my position all day, and it just takes away my time from everything else, and I don't really focus. So it's eating into my personal life, and that's what I don't really like trading. I like the benefits of trading, absolutely. I flipping love it, but I don't like what I actually do in and of itself. What was your aha moment in trading? It was the first ever payout. The moment I got that, I was like, oh crap, this thing's real. And then suddenly my mind just changed. That's what just changed everything. I just became confident. It was that instant confidence. Wait, did I miss the Top Step Futures bit? No, you didn't. Do you need less than 15K to start in property with a good risk ROI? Yeah, but the only thing is like something called rent to rent. Oh, that crap. Ugh, it's just too much work, man. Maybe I'll look into it. DM me on Instagram. We'll talk about it. How many kids do you have, Zamco? None. What's the time? 7:36. Okay, I do need to pray Usher, so I'm going to be ending the stream soon. What is your risk per trade on eval? I've already answered that. 4.5%. What you recommend back testing or forward testing? Both. Forward testing is much better, I would say. Would you be interested in property in the UK or not? Maybe, yes, I am thinking of that. How long ago did you stop going to your 9 to 5? In January 2025. That's when I left. All I low-key want to have is profitability and play some GTA. Trust me, that's the life. How do you personally use change of character to flip your bias? Sorry if you've answered that already. It's just aligning it with the higher time frame fair value gaps. So if price comes into a higher time frame fair value gap and I'm looking for finally a reversal, then I drop to the 1 minute time frame and look for that change of character on the 1 minute time frame, and that's my change of character entry. Do you need a proper accountant, or a regular accountant can do the job? It depends on what the accountant knows, isn't it? Like, I don't know how good my guy is. I never had to file my taxes yet. It comes next year, April, so then I'll see how he does. What would you ever quit trading in the future? Maybe. I think a part of it will always be there, but I think maybe I will eventually. If I can have passive income that makes me huge amounts of money, then I don't really need to trade. So maybe then I would. If you are funded 50K, what's your next steps? I would aim for like a 1 or 2% payout. So even a 2% payout, I think. Like just getting 1K or 2K back from that, that's it. That'll change a lot for you. How do you know the difference between a retrace and actual market change when in a trade? I've already answered that. Zamco, have you thought about using your payouts to invest in some other passive incomes? Yes, I have thought about that. What made you want to originally become a physiotherapist? I didn't know what to do. Once I finished my sixth form, my college, I didn't know what to do next in terms of university. I didn't know what course to do. I had no clue where I was going. I enjoyed biology, but I didn't want to be a doctor. That's just long. So then my dad's friend just said like, oh, why not do physiotherapy? And I was like, okay, fine. But I flipping hated that. More examples on German 40. Don't worry, I'll quickly do that. Bet Boss, I can explain how everything works. It's much less overhead. Yeah. Just drop me an Instagram DM and we'll talk about that. But when you DM me on Instagram, just say YouTube or something, so then I can see it in the request and I'll notice you. What's your favorite prop firm and why? Funding Pips, because they have great profit targets and stuff, and they're reliable and they're on the cheaper side. Do you trade counter? No, I follow the trend. Zamco, please remember my name, bro. I want to join your premium. I'll have to pay today and join. It's not open, so you can't just join just like that. I'll drop you a DM. No, please don't. PFC4006. Yeah, you just DM me about the property thing. Just message me YouTube or property and I'll know it's you. Thanks so much for your time. You're welcome. This is more personal, but how would you deal with your family, as in if you come from a poor family and you get your first payout, how do you deal with them not taking or spending all your payout money? Well, why what right do they have on your money? That's the thing, and it depends on your family dynamic. I don't know. Like, I got my payouts, but again, my parents are taken care of. I help pay the rent for them. That's pretty much it. And any like food that we order or whatever, I pay for that. But they don't take any money from me. So if you are worried about them taking your money from you in like a toxic way, then probably don't tell them about your payouts. That's another thing. Kind of keep it hidden from them, But if you want to provide for them, then provide for them. What do you think about gold and oil? I've already just told you. I don't know. I don't do trade fundamentals. It's probably going to go up. I don't know. Funding spread is good. No cheat. The spread isn't that great. Slippage can be not the best, but they are reliable in terms of they'll pay you out and stuff. There's not that much like iffiness with them. The overall, like a general firm, they are really good. So I'll go with them. All right, cool. You sent me a DM. I'll have a look later. Can I DM you about inquiring WAP? I would say just leave the WAP crap for now. Trust me. I'll make an announcement when it's all set up and ready, so you'll be able to take care of it then. When were your parents supporting of your trading? Yes, they were very supportive of me. My mum gave me like 5K over a period of time for challenges. I lost it all, but you know, she was very supportive. And my little brother gave me a lot more money to buy challenges, which again, I lost all of it. But yeah, they were supportive of me. How do I get your course? Join the waitlist in my Instagram bio. Guys, any more questions? Join the Discord. Bro needs to pray. Yeah, exactly. Is Maven safe? I don't know. How old are you? 24. Please come and pray. Yes. Right. Okay, I'm not going to answer that many more questions now. I'm just going to quickly break down one more trade that I took on German 40. So basically, I'm going to look at the 1 minute time frame, and we're just going to go to some other day at 8. Let's see, which one was it? I remember there was one. I didn't take that. I didn't take that. This one I didn't take. Where was it? This was it, I think. Yeah, over here. So basically, this wasn't the best in terms of a retracement. It almost... what am I doing? Okay, so this trade right here, you can see there's London Open. Right, so have a look at this. We had London Open right here at 8 a.m. right here. We pushed down straight away, and then we started pushing up, breaking structure to the upside, right? So we had a market structure. We had this high that was over here. That was broken. Now, where did price come down to in London Open? Straight away, we can see. Let me make this full screen. So the moment London Open opened right here, we had these lows over here. Instantly, we swept down, breaking these lows. And then we looked to the left. We had this 1 minute fair value gap, right? That was indicating to me that we're not breaking structure to the downside to continue down. We're actually coming into this fair value gap to then continue up, because we swept the low and then pushed up, breaking this high, shifting structure to the upside. The only fair value gap we had was over here on the 1 minute time frame. I took my buy very early right here, which I shouldn't have. I should have at least waited for this 1 minute order block, because again, that was below 50%. But I took my buy over here. Stop loss was below the low, right? We were very close. We didn't actually sweep the low because I didn't expect it to, because again, it was how we pushed down and then continued up. So we were shifting structure to the upside on London Open after tapping a 1 minute fair value gap. Once we tapped that, then we took the buy, and then that's it. So that was kind of the trade right there. So this, again, London Open, it manipulated into a 1 minute fair value gap, sweeping lows right here. You can see these lows right here. They were hovering above a 1 minute fair value gap. London Open right here, straight away pushed down and straight away pushed up, breaking structure to the upside. Where did that happen? How did it happen? Pushed down, sweeping lows into a fair value gap, rejected, broke structure to the upside, shifting structure to the upside, 1 minute fair value gap, took my buy, stop loss below the low, targeting the next high. That was the first target. But then obviously on the higher time frame, we had like higher areas over here. But this was the trade right there. Okay. Yeah, so that was the trade right there. I was just targeting like a 15-minute fair value gap or something to the left. But that's all it is. You see where price manipulates to. Is it rejecting a fair value gap? Is it shifting structure? Is it creating a fair value gap? Is it in a discounted area? All of that, and you take your trade. And that's pretty much it. Is it okay? 5 minutes away. It's okay. Okay. Why stream on market close? because I'm not live trading. Live trading will probably be for the inner circle members. Like, what type of idiot asked that question? Why are you streaming on market close? I'm free. I'm not trading. I'm free now. Like, what the flip? Shut up, man. How you felt after losing all your challenges bought from your mom and your brother's money? How you trusted yourself to come back? That did not feel good. I cried a bit. It was horrible. It was a very, very horrible feeling. Not a good feeling. I don't know. Maybe I didn't know if I would make it, but I couldn't believe that I wouldn't make it. So I just kept going. I was just addicted. So I kept going, and then finally it worked out. So I guess great, happily ever after. How do you know where to exit without any previous structure? If there's, well, I mean, then that means you're at all-time highs. Then it's just very risky. I don't know where to exit from. But another way to know where to exit is if you're following market structure upwards, and then finally we break structure to the downside and we're shifting structure bearish, that's kind of your cue to get out of the market. So fair value gap inception. Yeah, pretty much just fair value gaps. That's kind of what I use. What if it's your money, and what if your first payout money doesn't make a difference and it's greed? Need your advice because you said first payout it's for yourself and to see it's real. I don't know what that means. What if it's your money, and what if your first payout doesn't make a difference as it's greed? Oh, okay, so it's not like a significant amount. I don't know. My one wasn't a significant amount. My first payout was a $2,000 payout, and that wasn't a significant amount in terms of the UK, so it didn't make much of a difference, but it just made things real for me in my head. I don't know, it kind of just went from that. Are you live right now? Yes, I mean, I'm speaking right now, aren't I? What's favorite pair to trade? German 40. What did your wife-in-law say that you make money from trading? Did that ever become an issue for getting married? They didn't really know that I was trading when I married her. They don't really know that. They know now, but I don't know what that really means. Thank you for your time and appreciate the knowledge. You're very welcome. Don't worry, more streams like this throughout the time and whatnot, but this was a really rare premium one, free one that I do. It's not a common one, so if you want more, then obviously you can join the inner circle through my Instagram, join the waitlist, and then you can be put into the inner circle. Or just DM me inner circle on Instagram, and then we can add you to the list. You would have to be interviewed, you know. Not anyone can just join. You're going to be interviewed, and if you fit the criteria, then you can join. What's your advice on the best 8 to 5 prop firm for copy trade, preferably? For copy trading, you can copy between your 3 100K accounts on Funding Pips, but you can't copy from another prop firm. You just can't do that. But I would say Funding Pips is a good prop firm. First payout was £250. That's still all right, man. Just use that money to buy more accounts. Did you reinvest it all on your first payout on challenges? Yes, I use all of my first payout on buying more challenges. Do you think it really matters to only look at DAX to trade? What I mean is maybe you don't need to keep an eye on US 500, Dow Jones, or Nasdaq, since it seems like everything is copying those indices. No, all of them trade differently. They might correlate, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't look at them. Other ones might have a better entry opportunity, but I just prefer DAX over all of them because it just moves much better than all the rest. What's the time frame you look at most times in terms of analysis? Like I said, daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, 30 minute, 15 minute, 5 minute. Those are the ones I use for analyzing. So yeah. Right, I don't have any more time. I've been here for 1 hour 40. So flipping out, I've spent a lot of time on this. Not wasted time, but spent a lot of time because it was nice to be here. But we did waste a lot of time at the beginning with all the Discord crap, but we got there in the end. So YouTube works out great. So yeah, I'm glad everyone joined. Thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I'll try and make sure it's recorded. So yeah. Yeah, Freudian slip wasted. Thank you, bro. I mean, I just say, I bought money from my father to buy an account. I'm in drawdown, didn't get my first, so I hope to recover. Yeah, it's tricky when you get money from other people to trade. It's better to use your own money because then you don't have that stress. Did you find your DAX set up normally during London? I trade New York and primarily USA, but it's moving like trash. Yeah, DAX usually happens in London session open. That's when I find my entries. So I would recommend to look at that. I love you, Unc. I love you too. Thank you, bro. You're absolutely welcome, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I'm going to end the stream now. I need to go pray. So yeah, thank you again for joining. Do use German 30 or 40. Depends what the broker offers, but I use both. On some prop firms, it's German 30. On some, it's German 40. So I use both. So yeah, thank you, everyone. And I will see you soon. Thank you for your services once again. We'll meet you in Man. Yeah, we'll want to meet you. Yeah, that'll be nice, but I don't want to get stabbed. So yeah, thank you, everyone. Take care.